College football isn't just a sport. It's Saturdays with your family. It's road trips with your friends. It's traditions older than most professional leagues. It's bands, rivalries, generations of memories. In over 100 years, college football has been uniquely American. But I think we're watching that sport turn into a disaster. Not because players are getting paid, not because athletes finally have freedom to do some things, but because the system that built college football was never designed for the world we're living in today. What's going on, everybody? I'm Bill Work. I'm your favorite draft nerd. Today we're going to do something a little different. It isn't a mock draft. It isn't prospect rankings. I'm not telling you why Jeremiah Smith is going to be the next All Pro or future Hall of Famer. Today, I want to try and save college football. Now, before you click away, call me an old man yelling at the clouds, I love NIL. I love player freedom. I think the transfer portal was needed. This isn't one of those videos. This isn't an old man just yelling to be heard. I don't think the players broke college football. I think we built a system where everyone is trying to play by the same rules, but they aren't playing the same game. It's an arms race. Let's start with the very simple fact. Ohio State isn't competing with Toledo. Georgia isn't competing with Georgia Southern. Texas isn't competing with North Texas. They exist in different worlds completely. Ohio State spends over $200 million annually on athletics. $200 million. The recruiting budget alone could completely change some of the Group of 5 programs' worlds. I mean, it's ridiculous. Texas can raise NIL money that some conferences couldn't dream of, let alone schools. It's not a criticism. If you had the resources, I'd use them too. But here's the problem. We're pretending these schools belong in the same ecosystem as other schools. Imagine telling the New York Yankees that a AAA baseball team has to spend as much as the Yankees and play them. That's essentially what we're doing. The biggest brands have become natural entertainment companies, and the smaller schools are trying to survive. And unfortunately, we're heading down a path where they may not. Every year, the gap's getting bigger. We've watched Texas leave, we've watched Oklahoma leave, USC, Oregon, Washington. They've all left their traditional area based conferences for more money, more television, because they had to. It's not because they hate tradition. The television money simply demanded it. The sport has stopped optimizing for the fans and started optimizing for revenue. And I'm not blaming the NCAA, because honestly, I don't think they can fix this. I think the NCAA got punched in the mouth and kind of just let things slip beyond their control. Um, how do you govern schools with completely different priorities? For instance, should Ohio State have the same transfer rules as Appalachian State? Should Alabama and Marshall have identical roster management? Should Texas and Tulane operate under the same salary structure? I don't think that's possible anymore. The NCAA isn't governing this sport. It's trying to govern everything in college athletics, and football has become too big for them to govern as it stands. Um, Honestly, college football is becoming more professional than anything else in college. Um, I hear people say all the time the portal ruined college football. I don't think that's true at all. I think the portal exposed what was already happening. If Boise State, for instance, develops an NFL quarterback, Oregon can offer them more. I mean, that blank check is a monster thing. If Tulane develops a first round wide receiver, LSU can call them and say, hey, come get paid. If James Madison finds a diamond in the rough star linebacker, Penn State's right there to write a check. Portal didn't create imbalance. Money did. The portal just made it so that everybody could see the problem. Currently, we have 130 schools with one governing body, one transfer system, one eligibility system, one financial structure, and I'm sorry, that just doesn't work anymore. So here's the question nobody wants to ask. What if Ohio State isn't playing the same sport as Toledo anymore? What if Georgia and Georgia Southern have fundamentally different goals? What is trying to keep them together? And is that actually hurting both of them to do that? Here's what I think. The biggest schools are never going backwards. NIL isn't disappearing. TV money isn't shrinking. Players aren't giving up their freedom. The toothpaste is out of the tube, and we're not going to get it back there. Maybe instead of trying to force 130 schools into a broken system, let's build two healthy ones instead. One league for the 40 schools that have become national football brands. The schools that have the budgets, the fan base, the television audience, the recruiting infrastructure, the NIL structure. You know, when you have somebody that can drop $75 million for your team, that's the kind of schools I'm talking about. And another league for everybody else, where regional football exists again, where it's affordable to travel, where the traditional regional rivalries exist, where real championships are earned again. And it's not because those schools aren't important. I truly believe they are. It's because they preserve a system where they can be competitive and that is built for them. I call the first one the 40 team league. Call it the Premier League. It is what it is. They're the premier programs. Let's call it the Premier League. I call the other one the American College Football Association, ACFA for short. It's very simple, and we're going to get into it a little more in depth in parts 2, 3, and 4 of this, because I know some of you probably hate this idea. You think I'm trying to destroy college football, but I actually think I'm doing the opposite. If you're watching college football disappear because we're afraid to admit it's already changed. This series is about killing tradition. It's about saving what's left of it and creating new traditions to save the sport we love. In the next episode, I'm going to build the Premier League from scratch. 40 schools, 4 conferences, player contracts, revenue sharing, transfer rules, scheduling rules, and an entirely new way to govern the highest level of college football. You may not agree with it, but I promise you, you'll understand why I think it can work. And you might, at the end of the day, think I'm crazy, but it will succeed. I'm Bill. I'm your favorite draft nerd's favorite draft nerd, and we'll see you in part 2 of Saving College Football.